like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Greetings, Glitter Gang. Happy Thursday. It's 2 o'clock on Thursday, October 21st. You're here for Kathryn Scraps Live. I'm Kathryn, and today we're going to be scrapping live the advanced version of the Quick and Easy Fold Pocket album. There's a link in the video description below for how to get the measurements, the guide, the videos, all of that, as well as to join the archives to get access to all our past shows that we've done live here. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well and having a lovely Thursday. I'm doing all right. I almost forgot today was Thursday, but luckily I have an alarm to remind me in case I do forget. That's what happens when you don't work outside the house. Like sometimes the days are a little confusing. So, all right. How is everyone today? I see there may have been a cornfield. So let me type in the chat so that people know which chat is the chat. So I'm going to type Happy Thursday. If you can see this, you are not in a cornfield. Okay, so if you can see in the chat where I typed Happy Thursday, if you can see this, you are not in a cornfield, then you are not in a cornfield. If you can't see that, then you may be in a cornfield, and the best way to get out of a cornfield is to just refresh until you can see that chat. So, alrighty. So I am happy to report that we are busy getting ready for Halloween around here. So that's what's on my desk. Let me say hi. So hello to Sandra and Carol Joan. Carol Joan said that she had a hard time getting in. She kept going to a cornfield. Judy says it's a gorgeous day in Houston, wishing the same for all the Glitter Gang, and that she was also in the cornfield. Candy says, happy glittery day, glittery ones. Linda says, hello from Holland. Welcome to you, Linda. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Melanie says, happy glitter day. Deb says, happy Thursday, everyone. Ella said, woo, I thought I had missed an announcement. We weren't having class. Yeah, it was just, I was 3 minutes late. So when I'm usually very on time, so I know like it can really, when you're very on time and then you're late, it can be confusing for sure. Deb says, happy Thursday, everyone. Donna says, happy glitter day. Let's see. I said happy Thursday. And then Carol Jones says you have something interesting on your desk. And then Donna says she was also in the cornfield. So we're working on Halloween costumes around here because we're going to, we learned about, there's a World War II vessel of some kind. I don't think it's like, it's not like, I don't think it's a, like a battleship. And by battleship, I don't mean like specifically the class of ship battleship, but like a ship used for fighting. So not a destroyer, not a battleship, not an aircraft carrier, you know, none of those things. but like troop transport or cargo transport, something like that. But anyway, it's a historic ship, and I get every year they decorate it inside, and there's a scripted haunting adventure that you can do a walkthrough of the ship. So, and then where the ship is docked, there's a lot going on for Halloween in that area. So we're going to go down there Saturday, the 30th, the day before Halloween, right? We're going to do the tour of the ship and then check out, you know, the food trucks and whatever else is around on the dock. And so we're going to do that. But then my sister wanted to dress up. So she asked me if I had like what steampunk stuff I had, and we kind of put a costume together for her out of some stuff I had here. But then she wanted an arm brace, a steampunk arm brace. And so that's what this is. So it goes, this is how it all comes together. So you can see how it will go around the arm. That's why this piece is tapered, so that it will go around the arm. So I've just been, what I did is I took Craftex and I ran it through the SILKY with an embossing folder. And then I went over the embossing folder with Distress ink. I think this is walnut stain. And then I went over the edges of the Craftex with brown Sharpie to, you know, give it just like a more finished looking edge. And then we went through my ribbon supply and we found this ribbon, which I don't love. I would have rather had like a dark brown ribbon, but I don't have, my ribbon supply has never been amazing. So we're going to use this. It's going to be fine. I have, because we needed like 4 yards of it to do the lacing, because it took 2 yards to really lace just one side. So this is what I had that was good enough. So that's what she's doing. So that's why this is here, because it was drying all week, but it's dry now. And then, I mean, her arms are not, like, she doesn't have big arms, but she doesn't necessarily have skinny arms. It's just important to remember that I have huge hands. So things often look smaller in my hands than they might look like on your desk, if they were on your desk. Now, I've decided I'm going to go as the Wicked Witch of the East, which is the witch that gets a house dropped on her at the beginning of The Wizard of Oz. So all you ever see of her are her socks and her feet. So I'm going to make some ruby slippers, and I'm going to make some ruby slippers, and I got black and white striped sock tights and a red skirt, and I have a black corset that also has straps. It's like a top. So that's going to be what I am wearing. And I actually think I might have a picture of it. Yeah, here it is. So there it is. It's just like, I'm already melted. I'm already melted in this. I'm already flattened by the house in this picture. And then, so you can see how the corset's kind of like a top. And then I got a magic wand. And then, like I said, I still have to make the ruby slippers. But I got really great glitter. Actually really happy with this glitter. Look how pretty. Look how pretty this glitter is. So this is, and I also got some Fabri-Tac. And I ordered an inexpensive pair of red ballet shoes. So once the red ballet shoes come, I'm going to cover them in Fabri-Tac. I'm going to cover them in glitter. And then that'll be, and then I'll just shed glitter everywhere I go. So I'll be so popular. I'll be so popular. But look at that glitter. Isn't that pretty? Jimisi, I don't know. What about the guys? Well, Damien is doing some steampunky thing with Liz. And then Alan wanted to go as a Winky or a flying monkey. But all the costuming stuff we found for that was he would be too hot because it's in Florida. So he would just die. There'd be no way. So he's probably just going to go as something else. He's still trying to figure it out. But probably something easy. We talked about him going as Guy from Free Guy because all he'd need is a pair of khaki pants and a blue shirt. So maybe he'll do that. So that was one idea we had, to do something easy, but we'll just see. So yeah, I think Damien's doing something steampunky as well, and then Alan is still undecided. So see, there's already glitter on my hand. And I've already wiped down that bottle. So glitter is just glitter, you know. All right. So that's what's going on. Next week is our book club. So make sure that you've read The Last Flight by Julie Clark. That's this one right here. So that's the book that we're going to be discussing next Thursday. So if you want to participate in the discussion or you don't want to be spoiled, then make sure you have that read before. See, glitter on my hand. Oh, glitter. All right. So make sure you have this read before then. And then also, just as a reminder, that we are doing Book Club 2022 differently from Book Club 2020 and Book Club 2021. And what that is we are going, I'm just picking all the books. So this is the list for 2022. I'm probably going to add one more book, very short, 80 pages, to December, so that there's 2 books for November, December, because there was a request last week that we keep the list to 12, so that all the different book club journals that I've designed for the years will still hold 12 books. Won't have an empty space. So I'm going to add Nikolai Gogol's The Night Before Christmas. Again, it's only 80 pages, and it's not the same as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas and All Through the House. That's not like the childrenification of the Gogol story. The Gogol story is totally different, but it's only 80 pages. And then for 2021, this year, what I have done is, for the Christmas books you'll be voting on next weekend, we'll read whatever book you vote on, and then there will be a bonus book of Little Women. So, because it was also discussed last week that people would like to read Little Women at some point to see if it holds up from their childhoods. So that will be the bonus book for this year. And I think, again, with Little Women, most people are familiar with the story, even if they haven't read the book. So if you don't get to finish it, then, you won't be spoiled because, the book's like 200 years old or whatever. So, so that's that. So again, I'm probably going to add The Night Before Christmas by Nikolai Gogol to this. It's only 80 pages. It's very short. And apparently in Ukraine, they still read it it's still read aloud, like to this day, on the night before Christmas. So there's that. And then the books that you'll be voting on, let me just pull them up. The books that you'll be voting on are Oops, you can't see them because the thing is up. Okay. In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. And again, that's Cousins with an E, not an I. And then the bonus book is by request. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So, all right. So that's that. So that's all coming up. So you're going to be voting on which of those 3 books you want to read next weekend. And there's glitter on my desk, so that's cool. So now I'm going to go and let's see if I can remember what I was doing last week. So I know we're on the last layer, and I had prepped a bunch of stuff. But did I finish, or was I still working on it, is the question. So we've got, looks like all the stuff to make the pages. All right. And we've got the stuff to make the page closures here. And then we've got, I think, okay, these are 2 different sizes, so that's the front. Oh, and these are the insides. I think we're good to start assembly. So we can go ahead, I think, and start assembly. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'll start with these closure pieces. Looks like we're gonna have to assemble in the book, the pages themselves. So let me move everything not to do with the closures off my desk, because we're gonna have to have room for the book itself. But I can at least get the closures done before. So thanks so much for joining me for what is probably going to be the last day of the what is this album called? I already forgot. This is the advanced version of the Quick and Easy Fold Pocket album. We should finish it today unless something like explodes. But, and then we will return to the box set album remastered, and we will continue with that until it's done, which means doing the last volume, which will be done with the Paper Phenomenon Ladies Who Lunch, and then the box. We'll make the oversized box that holds the 3 oversized albums. And that'll be nice. Then once that's done, we will start the Goldilocks album, which will be an album trio with a large album, a medium album, and a small album, because I have been asked to do more large albums and more small albums. So the way to accommodate more large albums and more small albums is, I think, to just do, we'll just do combos. All right. So the big thing for me to remember when I stick these down is I have to get the these pieces right side up. Because in the past, I have gotten them not right side up. So that's one thing that I have to pay attention to. So when you're doing the closures, you know, there is a right side up because you do have to be able to slide it on. So just kind of want to pay attention to that. All right. So yeah, so that's been the main thing we've been up to this week, is trying to put Halloween costumes together for everyone. And we did go to the movies and we saw Free Guy, which, you know, it deals with a topic that I think is interesting philosophically, which is the ethics, what ethics are involved with how you treat artificial intelligence. Like, do you have to be nice to artificial intelligence, that sort of thing. But it's also a comedy, and it's mostly meant to just be a funny look at video games. So, but I mean, there is an ethical discussion in the film as well, you know, which is, you know, is it wrong to be mean, deliberately mean to the non-playable characters in video games? Like, is there something wrong with it ethically or morally? So, but it's mostly just a video game movie, kind of like Ready Player One, sort of similar vibe. All right, so once again, I just want to make sure that this is right side up. So you want the openings on the sides because it has to slide on. So this is right side up. All right, so that's able to slide on. So then we can just turn it over and then put one of the photos on the back. And link in the video description to this stamp that I use for the photo here as well. By the way, for those of you who are in Canada and ordered through Pear Tree Treasures, the stamps that we shipped to Canada are in the wind. So we sent another set priority this week. So hopefully the stamps will be there soon. So I said they'll probably show up in like December looking like they were kicked there. And they'll be useless anyways. So we just sent another set so that they would get there. Either that or the ones that we originally sent will show up right before the ones that we just sent, just to mock us. You know, those are the possibilities. So, but yeah, we have no idea where they are. They're not moving, so whatever. We're just sent a new set. So they'll show up on the same day. That'll be what happens. They'll just literally they'll be in the same delivery. So you guys have been very patient. So thank you so much for your patience, and we're gonna get that sorted out. Hopefully next week. But if not, the week after that. So. But yeah, she messaged me and she said, you know, what's the tracking on them? And I was like, what the heck? I can't believe they're not there. I mean, we sent them it feels like so long ago. So we just sent new ones. I know shipping is like very weird right now. So hopefully it won't affect the priority mail, but who knows? And I'm just, sometimes this gets glued shut, and so I'm just checking to make sure it's not glued shut. All right. So all our closures are done. So these are all ready to go. And now I just want to round the corners, but I'm only going to round the corners of my, I'm not going to round the corners of my pattern paper pieces until I'm putting them in the book, and I'll just do them one at a time. But I am going to round the corners of my cardstock pieces. So not these that are tabbed on both sides and not the pocket, but these, the ones that are the side flaps. So I'm going to round these with the, have I been using the large angle? What have I been using? I have been using the large angle. All right, I'm going to round these with the large angle. Of course, you can use any corner rounder you want. It just helps to take the corner off these pieces on page C so that the sliders get on easier. Whether you round them or angle them, it just helps to not have the corner, because it's just that the place in the middle, that there's kind of like a bar in the middle, I guess, of the slider pieces, and you know, they act as like a funnel for it to slide in, so you don't have to be as precise when you're putting those back. It helps. All right, so now that those are done, I'm gonna just make a little stack here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put them in the book. And the reason I have to put them together in the book is because I didn't put backs on the I didn't put page bases on them. So they're going here on the backs of these pages. And they're going to look like this. All right. So let's go ahead and start at the top and work upside down. All right, so we want the base of the envelope to be on the inside, like so, so that you're pulling tags out to the outside. But before we put those down, we need to put down the We need to put down the all right. Okay, so I need to decide if I want the larger side or the smaller side to be on the inside. And I'm just going to look and match what I did here. So on this one, I put the larger side next to the spine. So that's, I'll just repeat that. And by larger side, I mean of the two flaps, you can see one's a little bit shorter. So I'm going to put this one down. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to put the pocket down. I'm going to put this on top of it, the larger one, and then opposite it, I'm going to put the smaller one. So I need to, actually I jumped ahead. I need to add my Z folds. So let me just do that. And it's not as big of a deal, but you know, I do want to keep them all kind of facing the same direction. So on this one, I'm going to come in from the side with the fold at the top, and on this side, I'm going to come in from the side with the fold at the bottom. And that's how I'll flip it around. All right. All right, so I'm going to come in. And again, more detail on how exactly to do all this is included in the Album's Basics Guide. If you need more info, that's where you find it. And that is linked below. Okay, so now I'm going to go peel just one side and stick it down. Okay. And then peel just the bottom. And then line it up and stick it down. All right, and then once that's stuck down, give it a burnish and put your piece of tape over your hump. And that piece of tape just helps things glide in and out of the pocket more smoothly, things like your tags or your photo mats or whatever you put in your pocket. And then once that's down, you can peel the rest of your tape. Wait, before you do that, you want to put down your liner, I think, which is this one. Okay. And before I can put down the liner, I've got to put down the shorter of these two little guys. So, wow. So a lot of things have to happen at once with the construction of this. All right. So we're going to put down that piece. So now I'm going to ink this one and stick it down. And again, you can avoid working in the book. All you have to do is you just need more cardstock because you have to put it back on each page. Okay, now that that's done, I can peel the tape and press this down. And then when I go to stick this down, the main thing is this piece has to be closed. So I hold that shut and then tuck the two sides in and then press it down. Okay. All right, and now this piece goes on top of this piece. So this is the larger of the two flaps. Oh, Candy says I only put backs on the longer pages on mine and I did just fine. So there you go. Yeah, because page style A can just go on the back. Yeah. Yeah. So on page, what she's saying is she only put backs on her page B's and her page C's. And then on her page A's, she still was able to make them off the page, but she didn't have to put backs on them. All right, so next I'm going to take two of these pieces and stick them down. And then these pieces go here and here. And then we're going to need one of these to go here, but not upside down. So that's the layout. All right. So we'll go ahead and start working on this, sticking all of these down. So I'm going to start by chomping the corners of these pieces. And again, I'm inking with Faded Jeans Distress ink. And these large flaps on the side are a great place to add information about the family members pictured, or, you know, if you're not using this for a family album, whatever journaling you want to add. So, to, you know, these are great spots because they are pretty large. Great spots to put journaling spots. Wow, that thing is really trying to get on my bad side, isn't it? Okay. And then we'll ink these two and stick them down. And I only need to ink on 3 sides. And this paper does have a upside down and a right side up because it's got print on it. It's very faint, but I can see it, so I want to make sure I get it right side up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the tape. and stick it down. And then the photo mat, I'm just going to eyeball center it. You can use a centering ruler if you're really concerned. Okay. And then the last piece of pattern paper. And then the inside of this piece is done. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now the only thing left to finish this page is to put the other two pieces of pattern paper on the front and add the closure. All right, so we're going to chomp these as well. And this is the smaller one, so it's going to get chomped on that side. Then we'll chomp this on this side. And then the other thing is with the stripes, we just want to make sure we put the stripes the right side up each time. Go ahead and ink. Okay. Then remove the tape and stick it down. Oh my gosh, when we shift gears to do the box set album remastered, that's just gonna break my brain. I'm not gonna know what the heck I'm doing. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. What I should do is just design elements so that they take up, I should add another set of measurements so that just takes up the whole page. So we only have to make 6 elements for the whole book. And then it'll be done like that. So that's what I should do. All right, so I'm going to put the closure on it now. So we just slide this over. Wait a second. Did I chomp the corners on the other? Oh, man. Okay. Okay, you know what? All right, so the way to fix it, if you want to, if this were to happen to you, which hopefully, let me move this to the floor so I can just do all 4 of them at once. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna line this corner up with a line on my desk, the corner I just chomped. And then I'm gonna line the 1/8 inch line up on my ruler with that same line on my desk. And I'm gonna make a cut with my craft knife just through the white. And then I'm gonna come in 1/4 of an inch. And I'm gonna make a cut with my craft knife just through the yellow. You can tell that my craft knife is a little dull. Because it's a little bit difficult to get all the way through. All right, so now all I have to do is get that edge blue. Let's see if, oh, you know, all right, this is the Sakura Micron. This is like the Heritage, it's called the Heritage Collection. And they're very like, they're not bright versions of colors. So I think that's gonna be my best bet. I'll just use the dark blue, go over the edge, close enough. Okay. I just need to do that a bunch more times, so I'm gonna change my blade on my craft knife so that it goes quickly. Just gonna get a piece of trash or close up the blade. All right, get a new blade. Yeah, an X-Acto X-Life is what I use. Also, it may be advertised as X-Acto high carbon steel, and it lasts a really long time. One box. even if you change often. And one thing I'm going to do just so this can go a little bit faster is I'm going to get a pencil and I'll just draw my lines, and then I can come in and cut them with my knife. So I hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon, evening. I hope you had a great week, that you did fun stuff this weekend, or at least read some fun stuff or watched some fun stuff. I started a show with Mr. Lifeguard called The Chestnut Man. Which is a murder mystery. We've only seen the first episode, so I don't know how good it is, but all right. I got it back. Then on the back, it's just a little bit easier because I only have to do the one cut for each corner. But yeah, I've just been getting ready for Halloween. I need to buy candy still. I don't know. Last year we only had 2 trick-or-treaters, but I don't know what's normal for the neighborhood. 2 sets of trick-or-treaters. Because last year was not a normal year, you know. So I don't know if normally there are only a couple sets of trick-or-treaters or not, because I do see quite a few kids like riding their bikes around the neighborhood. So I assume there's a bunch of kids in the neighborhood, so that we would have a bunch of people on a normal year. So I guess I'll get a bunch of candy just to be safe. and then hope for the best. Hope for the best. And if not, I don't know what to do with the candy. I still have some of the candy from last year. I know, I just need to throw it away. But, because we don't need it. We definitely don't need it. All right. Okay, so that's fixed. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about Judy. So Judy says more and more parents are taking them to malls or organized parties. And there are quite a few of those in the Bay Area, the Tampa Bay area. Oh, no, I lost the lid. Oh, here it is. Whew. Like, there's all kinds of places to trick or treat in, like, on boardwalks and things, which would be super fun. So, you know, could be that that there's something going on locally and they don't really trick or treat anymore. Who knows? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on now that I've fixed it. All right, and we've got that one down. So now I'm going to do a recording break, and then when I come back, we'll do this one. So for those of you who are watching live, just hang tight. Nothing's going to change for you. For those of you who are watching in the archives or in the Album Basics Guide, just go ahead to the next video to see this one come together. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now. Greetings, Glitter Gang. Happy Thursday. It's the second part of the Thursday, October 21st show. I am working on the final layer of the advanced version of the Quick and Easy Fold Pocket album. And this is the first page of this layer. And we are good to go. So now I'm going to work on this side. So I'm going to start by marking my pocket. And on the previous side, I marked it with the fold at the top. So on this side, I need to mark it with the fold at the bottom. All right, and now we're going to peel the bottom and stick it down over here. And then go ahead and give that a burnish. And then get a piece of tape to cover the flap joint so that things will go in and out of the pocket easier. And by things I mean tags, photo mats, etc. memorabilia, whatever you want to put in them. And then oh, okay. I needed to put the stuff down over here first. Luckily, I caught it in time. All right, so I need to put the short pocket down. And then the grid needs to go down. And then while I'm here, I'll get the remaining pieces for the inside ready. All right, then I'm going to peel the backing off of this. And just going to line that up and stick it down. Burnish, and then I can pull this ruler out and burnish. Okay. All right, perfect. Now to add this, it just goes right here on top of the pocket. I did, Donna. Yes. Okay. So now go ahead and stick these down. And then this one. Wow, look how easy crafting is when everything's already cut and taped. Look, it goes so quickly. And then photo mat. And again, I'm working upside down, so just want to make sure I pay attention to that when I stick it down. Then these go down next. So we're going to chomp them. And then ink them. And then in they go. Okay, then peel the tape and stick them down. And then stick this one down. Okay. All right, that's all good to go. So now all we have to do is just quickly do this. So once again, these should have been chomped and I didn't chomp them. So I'm just gonna chomp the corners of the blue cardstock base. And then line it up on my desk. And then mark an 1/8 inch in. Again, just with a pencil is fine. And a 1/4 inch in. And then turn it. Mark an 1/8 inch in. And a 1/4 inch in. Turn it. Mark an 1/8 inch in. And a 1/4 inch in. Last one on this side, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and then on the back, 1/8 inch all the way around. All right, and then once they've all been marked, I can go ahead and do all the cuts very quickly. And again, just have a sharp knife. And this will go pretty fast. Not that you'll need this, because you'll just not mess yours up in the first place. All right. That side's done. Now we'll just finish this side. All right, and now that that's done, I'll just do my, oops, that's the wrong blue. Almost used the wrong blue. Again, this is from the Heritage set of the Sakura Pigma Microns. This kind of dark navy-ish blue. All right, so this is now ready to go on the book. So we just have to add one of these and one of these. And I want to make sure that with the stripes that I add them right side up, which is with a slightly darker yellow line than on the top. So I just want to chomp it the right way so that my lines go straight across. All right, now those are ready to ink. All right, so now we'll peel the tape. And then we can slide this on. It's already ready to go because we already fixed it. All right, so we've got the top done, except for the tags. We still have to do the tags, but ready to move to the bottom. All right, so just gonna lay that out to help me remember what I'm doing with my life. And let me get my next little stack. So just so I don't forget, I'm going to start with the smaller of the two flaps on the edge. And stick that down. And then I'm going to grab my pattern paper liner and stick that down. Okay, so I'm just going to get the rest of my inside pieces. I'll just pull them out of my stack. All right, so now with the fold at the top, once again, because I did the top on this side before. Gonna mark where to put my Z-fold. And stick it down. And I'm gonna line it up. And stick it down. And press it into place and burnish, and then tape your joint. Then you can go ahead and peel the tape. And then again, when I close it, I want to make sure I hold that Z pocket shut, because that'll mess up my whole thing if it's not on properly. Then I can add my final flap to the base of the envelope. Press it down, burnish. All right. Okay, so now we chomp. Chompity, chompity, chomp. And then after we chomp, we ink. And these type of scrapbooks, again, when you're doing it, it's not going to necessarily be as much repetition as you're doing, because you're going to be placing your photos and adding your journaling. Although if you make it for gifts, albums with a lot of repetition like this are good, because then you can just do a nice assembly line and just kind of blaze through it without having to make a lot of decisions while you watch your favorite shows or listen to a book. Because when you listen to a book, if you have a lot of thinking to do in an album, you know, you can miss stuff in the book. But an album where you're just kind of doing the same thing several times is great to listen to a book, because you're not making a bunch of decisions. Or to watch TV, or listen to music. I almost stuck that on upside down because I have been working upside down. So remember to make sure you're always working in the right direction. All right, center that as best you can and stick it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and close those up to give myself room to work on the closure, which is the bottom right. It's going to be together forever. So I start by chomping all my corners. And now that I've chomped all my corners, get my pencil. And make my marks. So on the back where I just have the photo mat, I'm just going to come in 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides. And then on the flip side, we come in 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch to get both layers. Actually, I might just do both measurements at the same time. All right. All right, so now that I've made all my marks, I can go ahead and make all my cuts quickly. And then after I've made all my cuts, I'll do all my peeling. All right, and now it's time to peel. And then once I've done the peel, oh, speaking of peels, I never told you what happened with my chemical peel, which was like nothing. Nothing happened with my chemical peel. So, you know, we went in and there's all different kinds of chemical peels. And what she did, because I'd never had a like professional chemical peel before, and because I do have dry skin, she suggested a lactic acid peel. And I said, you know, I've had really good luck with lactic acid in skincare, so that sounds fine. So I did it, and it like didn't sting at all. It didn't get red. It didn't peel. Like, it's as if nothing had happened. And the product, Sunday Riley Good Genes, which is the chemical exfoliant that I use, which is also lactic acid, it stings more. And you use that every day. So, you know, I mentioned that to her, she and I were talking, and she said, well, she said, if that's the case, like if you know, have that level of tolerance, then she said, I would suggest you do next time. And I'm going to get the excuse me, I'm going to get the acid name right, because I know you guys all want to immediately go and burn your faces off. Okay. The trichloroacetic acid peel. Trichloroacetic acid peel is what she said. And she said that acid will penetrate deeper into the skin and reverse sun damage. And she said there's one level of acid stronger than that, but she said that level of acid is for more mature skin than I have. So that I don't need to do that one yet. Yet. All right, so now we've got that done. So all of you who want to do your face. So I'm sorry I don't have a funny story to tell. But yeah, nothing happened. Nothing happened. So all right, so now I just need to ink these and stick them down. So I don't look 20, unfortunately. But maybe after my trichloroacetic acid peel, I will look 20. So I'm actually going to try it. I'm going to go back and try that and see what happens, because I am curious. But I'm going to wait a little bit longer, I think, until after the holidays, for two reasons. One, so my face doesn't look weird for the holidays, if it does in fact take time to heal. So that's number one. And then number two is I definitely want to make sure that going out in the sun season is over for the most part. You know, when the sun's not strong. Monica said she entered just at the acid peel time. Well, I had a chemical peel, Monica. If you recall, I've had some adventures in the past with at-home chemical peels, so I went and had a real chemical peel done, and I was expecting it would be more intense than the at-home peels, but it was not. So it was not. Yeah. So it was actually way less intense. So the time that I did the Dr. Dennis Gross citric acid peel was way worse. Way worse. All right. So guess what? Last quadrant. Can you believe it? Last quadrant. This is it. Once it's done, the album's done. So okay, so step one is take the smaller flap and put it on the page. Then ink, I don't know why I keep putting the ink away. Ink your liner. All right. So I'm going to put down my liner. Give it a burnish. Then this piece, you're going to make your mark on the side, but with the flap at the bottom this time. You make your mark for your Z-fold, flap at the bottom this time. So on the left, we did flap at the bottom. On the right, we did flap at the top. Then peel the tape from one side of the Z-fold. Stick it down. Press it into place. Then peel the tape from the bottom of the Z-fold. Stick it down. And press it into place and burnish. Get your tape. Oh, come on. Like I need this right now. Really? You gotta be kidding. It's like stuck down like it's made out of like iron. Ugh. Gross. Okay, let's try that again. All right, perfection. Okay, now peel all our tape. And then hold the Z fold closed and then tuck the sides in and then press into place and burnish. And then on the other flap, peel the tape. Okay. And burnish. All right, so that's how they get stuck down. So I'm going to go ahead and ink. And chomp the corners using the We Are Memory Keeper's large angle punch. And ink again. And then all of these, like I said, all these large spaces where we don't have a photo, like these flaps, these are great places to put family history, journaling, maybe vital statistics on the people in the photos, your favorite memories of them, whatever you want to do. All right, gonna stick this down. And then gonna stick this down. And then that's in place. Just got to add the photo here. Oh, you know what we don't have is tags for any of these. We're going to have to do that tonight. Because I don't think, well, we can get started this afternoon, but I think we'll. All right, I'm just gonna close it up to give myself some room to work. And let me fix my little closure. Okay. So my closure was supposed to have angled corners and it doesn't, so I'm just modifying it after the fact. So step one is to angle the corners of the cardstock base. Then on each of these corners, I'm going to make a mark with a pencil at 1/8 and 1/4. And hopefully you all will not have to do this, but if you do have to do this, guess what? You'll know how. All right, and then flip it over to the back. Do the same thing. Candy says, if I had to do this, I wouldn't. Candy's like, I would just live with it. I would just live with it. There's no way I would do this in a million years. In a million years. So since we're going to have to make tags tonight to finish this off, I don't think we'll start the box set album tonight. The final journey. So what we'll do, I don't know, we'll mess around with something else. I don't know, maybe we'll do a craft. Who knows? Who knows what we'll do? All right, so now get my craft knife. It is nice if you did just mess up one. Yeah, exactly. But if you messed up a whole set, there's definitely an argument to be made for just living with it because you won't see the other pages. You know? So this is just me being uptight as usual. But like, it's not like you didn't know. You know? If you've seen this show before, then you know living with it is not part of my vibe. Not part of my vibe. Oh, I already did that side. Okay. We're ready to peel. Oh, and I did that side already. It's done. See, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. Now I'm just gonna use my dark blue pen on the edges, although it doesn't really matter with this one because the edges are dark blue already, but I'm gonna do it anyway because have you met me? That's what we do. All right, So we're done with those pens. And we can clean this trash off my desk. Set this to the side. We're almost there. We're almost there. All right. One last chomp. Dinner tonight is supposed to be chicken thighs with sun-dried tomato cream sauce. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I don't want to make that. That's not something I'm in the mood for right now. And to be clear, I would be in the mood for eating it, but I'm not in the mood for cooking it. So it may be a takeout night. We'll see. We shall see. By the way, there's a YouTube, speaking of cooking, there's a YouTube chef, Chef Jean-Pierre, and he runs a cooking school, I think somewhere in Florida. But he's also using a YouTube channel to teach like a cooking school. And he just started a series on sauces. Which is, he started with mushroom sauce, but and then béarnaise. But he's gonna teach all the sauces and stuff, and he said he's gonna make playlists, so you can go, like, you want to make a piece of pork, pork, fish, whatever you want to make, and then you can go find the sauce that you want and make the sauce. But he has all kinds of stuff on his channel, and he has all kinds of, because he is an actual chef, he has all, and teaches a cooking school. He has, his tips are so good. So like, he's the one I learned for, like, if you're going to make a beef stew, for example, the way to thicken it is you get your stew, all your stew components in, and then before you cook it, like all the way, let it simmer for the couple hours you're going to let it simmer, he puts a sieve in the top of the pot so that the liquid comes up through the sieve, just the liquid, and then he puts cornstarch in the sieve and whisks it so that the cornstarch isn't mixed with water, because he calls water the enemy of flavor, and he hates water, and he doesn't like to put water in anything. He hates water and calls it the enemy of flavor all the time. It's really funny. So he said, you don't want to mix your cornstarch and water and then pour that in, because all you've added is water, which has no flavor. So he puts the sieve, the fine mesh sieve, and then he puts the cornstarch in the liquid that's in the sieve, which is the stew liquid, and then he whisks that, and then he pulls the sieve out so there's no clumps, and then he stirs it in. And we tried that, and it was amazing. All right. We finished it. Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful. Amazing. 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 But anyway, his YouTube channel is all tips like that. So, it's really useful. It's really useful. I like his channel a lot. He's kind of like, who's he like? He's kind of like the less complicated version of Joshua Weissman. So like Joshua Weissman gives lots of good advice too, but then he also wants you to have like fermented black garlic in your house. So, you know, Chef Jean-Pierre doesn't necessarily want you to have fermented black garlic in your house. Like it's more like if you just have garlic, you know. All right, so the best way to close it is to get the first two overlapping each other. And then you can pull the two sides up, and then you can just let the pages fall down. And then let's get its closure on. Where are you, closure? All right. There it is. Nice and chunky. There's the back. There's the front. And you open it, twist. Like so. So here's layer 1. Layer 2. Layer 3. And layer 4. So this was designed with your family's history in mind, but of course you can use this album structure for anything you want to use this album structure for. All the videos from the live classes on how to do it like this are in the archives and will come with the Album Basics Guide if you purchase the Album Basics Guide. So you'll get all of the videos. So the quilt layer is the prettiest. Yeah, the quilt layer is really nice. And these are quilts. These are paper pieced from the pattern paper in the collection. They are actual quilts that I made. So they're actually quilted. They're not just, that's not just the pattern of the paper. And if you want to see how to quilt those yourself, of course, that's in the video description, as well as Chaka made SVGs. If you don't, to make the quilts, if you have a cutting machine, she gifted those files, and those are in the archives and in the Album Basics Guide as well. So that was very nice of her to do that as well. And I think she also made just like a digital, like a PDF you could print out that was an already made quilt. I believe she also made one of those for everyone as well. So for people who don't want to paper piece it together, or who don't have SVGs to have the machine do the cutting for them. So yeah, so you can also make these quilts if you want. But yeah, I mean, we did it. We did it. So again, the best way to close it up is to layer the bottom ones on top of each other, and then to pull it so that it sits straight up, and then let them drop side to side. Okay. And then the whole thing is held together by this. Which is got magnets all along the arms to hold the four corners shut. It will store flat on its back like this if you want to put it on a coffee table. It will also store standing up if you want to put it like on top of a bookshelf. you know, however you want to do it. It'll store both ways. It's sturdy enough to stand up like this. Yeah. Alrighty. Wow, can't believe it's done. Okay, so tonight we have to finish the tags for the last layer. And then I don't know what we'll do with the rest of the time. Maybe we'll do some planning for the next box set album remaster book. Maybe we'll do all the planning for that. And we'll do that tonight. So we'll finish this off. We still have to put tags on the last layer because I don't have enough tags for I don't have stuff to do tags. So we have to do tags still to finish it, but it's pretty much done. And then also we'll get started with the planning for the box set album remastered. The third volume is what we're doing next, and then we'll do the box for the box set. So that project's finally finished. And then after that, we'll start the Goldilocks album. So that's what's coming up. So I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time, which is roughly 5 hours from now. So whatever time it is where you are now, just add 5 hours. That's when I'll be back. For those of you who are overseas and are headed to dinner or headed to bed, enjoy your evening and have a wonderful weekend. Everyone else, I'll see you next time. Bye now.